Welcome back to part 2 of the Cummins rat rod build. Last video we took off the head and found the cylinder that was having the issues. Number 6 is moving, so I now have to get this block ready to be pulled so that I can send it off to the machine shop. I have pistons and rods coming. I have all new gaskets coming as well, and this thing should be back in running order hopefully very soon. Right now we are getting all the oil and coolant drained out of this thing, and it should be just about ready to start tearing apart. So after the incident last video where I fell off this thing, we will be taking it off. Much better. Most of the left side is now taken out. Obviously there's a lot to deal with on the right side with that big P pump, but the turbo is out. I will probably be removing the oil filter and the turbo feed, and then there's also the turbo return oil line here that will probably have to be removed as well. And then I have to take apart the AC compressor, and the left side should be pretty much wrapped up. Got the P pump out of there, took the Cummins cover off, and now I have to pull the power steering and the starter, and this thing should be ready to get the head put back on it so I can use the stock lifting mounts, and then it should be ready to come out. All right, so we got the air pump and power steering pump out. The starter is off. I'm gonna pull it with the AC compressor on, and then I took the AC condenser off. It's just these, and then you find the right size. So basically what these do is they go on here, and what it does is it shoves in there, and when you feel it click, that's when it releases. So it's like a quick release, but I'm sure you can do it with other things, but this is the tool for it. This is also how fuel lines work. You can do the same thing with fuel lines. But yeah, this motor has near to nothing holding it in anymore. Got all the parts ready to go back in the back garage, and we moved the welding bench, so it is ready for the block. I put the thermostat back on the head so that I can use these pulling mounts and put a couple head studs in, and this block should come right out. I already got all the bell housing bolts out, so there's only one in it now, just making sure it stays on those dowel pins, and it is ready to go. I did hook up the power steering, just the lines. I didn't actually put it back in, but I hooked the lines back up, so when I pull this truck out, move it to the driveway, I won't have power steering leaking all over the place when I'm maneuvering this around. All right, so we're gonna pull this onto the driveway so that it can be pushed on solid ground and then picked up in the garage, and then we'll get the block onto that table there. block is out, and now it's time to tear into it. So with this cam, to take it out, you got to pull up these lifters. So what I did was I turned the engine over until these lifters came up, and then I threw an O-ring around it to hold them up so that they're all the way up, and this cam should pull right out. The outside of the block is now completely taken apart. Got the head back off of it. The goal is to tip it up on its side so that we can work on either side of the block, on top and bottom, get these pistons out, the crank, all that kind of stuff, and see where we're at after that. All these pistons are marked on the front, and then I put number markings on the mains so I know the order it goes in, and then I also put them on the actual connecting rods so that I know exactly where they go. I don't have to wonder which one goes to which, because it's very important to make sure that they're all going in the exact same way they came out, including direction. There it is, a disassembled Cummins engine. Obviously, all of it is laid out just how it goes back in. Not because I'm not going to mess with it anymore, but just because I want to make sure I understand where everything goes. And this is our problem piston, number 6. That's the same one we were having the cylinder wall issues with. And yeah, that piston's smoked. The crank and the bearings are actually really good shape, so might not do anything with those. They're better than the ones that I ordered online. These are the ones that I got online, and as you can see, the bearings are out. The package is all torn up, and it's got at least one nick in it. I've heard that you can just take a little brush to it or something, but I probably won't do that. I'm just gonna send it to the machine shop, and if they say they're good, and if not, they'll just replace them. With everything now ready to go to machining, that'll be the end of this video. Be sure to stay around for when I rebuild this thing. Thank you for watching, and God bless.